In this video, you're going to see me giving Tom a golf lesson, and we cover and discuss one of the most important aspects and concept in the golf swing, but it's often overlooked. It completely transformed Tom's golf swing, and it can do the same for you.
Oh, that was so good.
That's a nice draw.
That was so good.
That was a really nice draw.
In a moment, you'll see it on camera, but effectively, the setup is pretty damn good. Backswing is good. Club's in a great position. And then as you transition into a downswing, that club shaft fractionally shallows. So that puts the sort of the center of the weight or the balance point of the club slightly behind your hands, which is perfect.
Yeah.
What happens from there, and this is the key thing for us today, is we need to look at how these move.
Yeah.
Okay. Because whatever these do, so as in your hands, is going to have a reaction in the club.
Yes.
So when we're swinging at speed and that club's traveling at 90 odd mile an hour, it's really hard to move that end on its own.
Yeah.
If you move this end, that will have a reaction. So if I was to put the club here, and I wanted the club head to fall down towards my golf bag, in a golf swing, the way I'd do it is I'd actually push my hands in that direction.
Okay.
I'd do that, which would cause the club to fall that way.
Yeah.
If I wanted them to fall towards the camera, I'd push them this way. Because that club has got so much energy, it's really hard to physically move that club. So I'm going to make it far worse. But what happens is as you get into this pot here, which is really good, your hands start to come in towards your right thigh too soon.
Yeah.
And if I did that exaggerated, it tips the club this side of your hands. So you're someone who's got the club head shallowing, which I'm looking at it thinking perfect, and then at delivery, it suddenly kicked too much on the outside. And then because of that, your hips are backing up a little bit. Which is almost kind of part of the same movement. If I got here and the back to my hips up, the club would the hands would sort of come in and the club would kick out. What that does is it gives you a path which is left.
Yep.
And I think at your worst, you were up at like, there was a 6.1 in there.
Okay.
Okay, so even though you're aiming at your target, the club's travelling 6 degrees left.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't look like that from this first move. That first move is perfect. What we've got to do is feel like the hands stay a little bit more out away from you. The hips have a little bit more lateral shift. And then when you snap the hands almost back into your body, it's a bit late.
Okay.
If you took a setup to the ball, just a normal setup, and if we look at where the grip of the club is, so this end in here, okay, and just, I mean, you probably can't see it because your arms are in the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Just think about how close it is to your thighs.
Yes.
Okay. Now, at delivery position, so when you're about to hit the ball, your hands aren't in this position.
No.
Okay. So what you've got is your wrists have got some set.
Yeah.
Okay. Which doesn't really move the butt end of the club.
No.
Okay. But that isn't your delivery position. Your delivery position is when your arms are rotated. Now, when your arms are rotated, that does move the grip end of the club
Yeah.
out and away from you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that grip is now further from you than it was at setup. That means that you've got space for this.
Yes.
Okay.
Space for
Correct.
the elbow.
So when you're at delivery position, this might be something a little bit extreme that we've done here, but at delivery position, the hands are going to be further away from you.
Yes.
Okay. Then, if I said to you now, I'm going to call it my terminology, kind of snap, but snap the club back to the ball, those hands will come back into your body.
Yes.
So we know that for the majority of really good players, you can have the club path dead straight, slightly in to out, slightly out to in, whatever you want to be, but the hands are always going around to the left.
Yes.
So your hand path is coming around to the left.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that's where the club's going.
No.
If you go halfway back, so just into your sort of backswing, good. Let's say you're in your downswing here.
Yep.
Okay, this is your downswing.
Yep.
Those things that we mentioned at the start are present.
Yep.
Okay, your wrists have set
Yep.
and your forearms are rotated.
Yep.
Now, if you hit the ball, you've got to undo those.
Yes.
Okay, but just hold it pretty lightly. Okay, and think about if I took the grip of the club and pulled it down towards your right thigh.
Yes.
You see how that straight away feels like the club
Yes.
wants to tip into my hand here.
Yes.
Okay. The opposite would be the case. If you push your hands out towards Joe, it would have the
Shallowing.
exactly.
effect.
Yeah. Now, lots of golfers, and I would be in this category. I'm way steep here.
Yep.
Okay. Too steep. I shallow it really late, which
okay.
flings the face open.
Yes.
And then I have to flick it back. That's not the way to do it. You do it the right way. We've just got to hold it for a little bit longer.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I'm just going to get myself, well, I was going to use an alignment stick, but I'll use a golf club. Okay,
Yep.
I want this golf club pretty much equal distance between the ball and your toes. Okay, now as you look down, okay, from your viewpoint, okay, take your setup to get yourself nice and comfortable.
Yep.
Okay, if we call this the middle point of your hands,
Yep.
so the kind of bit between the left and the right. As you look down, the middle point of your hand should be sort of here on the mat.
Yep.
Okay, roughly. Okay,
Yep.
as you look down, if you were to sort of take your eyes
Yes.
past that point, it'd be about here.
Yep.
Good. Okay, just make me a backswing and hold it. Okay, all the way up. Good. As you come down, I want you to stop at delivery, which is when the club shaft is level with the ground.
Yep.
Okay, so rotate your hips, move, and your hands should be pretty much on top of the golf club,
Okay.
give or take.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, give or take, but
Yep.
certainly not.
Not
sort
in
of where
here,
they were.
not pulled in here.
Exactly.
Tucked in, yeah.
Okay. So if I was to mimic your golf swing at the moment, it would be great, and then it would almost be these coming in too soon.
Yeah.
So your feeling is, can you go up to the top and work it to here?
Yeah.
Because we're looking at a force going through the handle and a reaction in the club head, you can feel all of those things really easily. You know, if I took my right hand on the club and just held it like as lightly as I could, you know, just held it as lightly as I could, I can put that in like a Sergio laid off position.
Yeah.
But if I start to pull this elbow and stick it behind me,
Yeah.
I mean, that club tips out that way. You know, I can feel that really, really simply. If I took my elbow and rammed it out over the golf ball, we get the opposite reaction of the club. So whatever you do to this is going to have a reaction. Okay, we want a certain reaction.
Yeah.
So just do a couple of these. Take your setup. Just going to go back, so I'm going to hold it. And then I want you to feel like, as you start your downswing, you've got a little bit more lateral shift. We'll touch on that a little bit more in a moment. But I just want you to feel like elbows in front of you, hands are over club.
Okay.
So this is what we're looking for here. This is what we're looking for. Good. Good. There you go. Good. Okay, back and hold it. Good. Rotate and push. Perfect. That's what you've got to feel.
Yeah.
Good. And if you can almost do that and have the club fractionally behind your hands as a rehearsal, that would be
Yeah.
absolutely ideal. There you go. Perfect. The instinctive potential kind of pushback, and definitely when I've touched on this before, I'm talking about the hands being here,
Yeah.
and then at delivery, the hands being here.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm going to shank that because the hands are
Yes.
further out.
Yeah,
but this is delivery. When we come to hit it, the hands are going to come back in.
Yeah.
So I want you to go ahead and take a setup, make me a backswing, find your delivery position
Yeah.
here, hands are over the club, and then you're just going to work the club to the ball a couple of times. So just, and then just go ahead and flip one. Super slow, no speed, just so we can get those hands working sort of back towards impact. Good. Club path of 0. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
if I could use a sample size of 1, I could
Yes.
make myself look incredibly good.
Yeah.
Okay, sample size of 1 aren't really enough to make a call, but straight away we've seen a change in movement,
Yep.
a change in path. There's a good sign there. Okay, that'll be very similar. 4.4
Right.
to the right. Starting to see a change.
Yeah.
Okay, how did that feel?
Okay.
Extreme.
Yeah.
So your club's behind your hands more.
Yeah.
I'd still like to see your hands a little bit more out.
Bit more out,
But
yeah.
we're starting to change the relationship between the two. So the key thing for you is if you look at where your right elbow is,
Yeah.
I'd like to see that a little bit more in front of your body.
Yeah.
So we've changed the relationship between the club and the hands, which is good, which is really key. Because as soon as that club, not that you need it, but as soon as that club starts to get tipped that side of your hands,
Yeah.
that's a kind of speed move which has
Yeah.
been used.
Yes.
Okay, so the more we can keep it behind here,
Yeah.
you still want to use that movement, but you want to use it kind
Going
of
into
here
the ball.
as opposed to here. So I think you'd pick up a little bit of speed. Not
Yeah.
that you need to.
No, no, but
But naturally,
speed
I
is
think
speed is always good
exactly.
if it's
Okay.
going in the right direction.
Okay, hit one more for me.
Yep.
So what I want to try and do now is just sort of fine tune that a little bit.
Yep.
So let's try and play the golf ball from pretty much the same place every time. So we'll take it from there as if there's like almost 3 tees. Take your setup to that ball for me. Okay, from your viewpoint, when is this golf ball underneath your hands?
There.
There. Okay, perfect. Another golf club at a slight angle.
Yep.
Okay, so not sort of on your target line,
Yep.
but around about here.
Yep.
Okay, so if you go back to setup, so at setup, that ball and that club should look as if they mean nothing.
Yep.
Okay, there's no relationship between those and your
No.
delivery position at
No.
all. Okay, backswing and hold it. Okay, but this time you've now got a sort of spot. So if you're going to go hips a little bit more towards the target, so
Yep.
slide them a little bit more and try and find that. Okay, and then from there, just swing through as if there's a ball there. There's obviously not, but find your delivery. Okay, and then from there, no backswing, just hit the ground. There you go. So let's just go ahead and hit a couple, but I want you to do one rehearsal first. Good. Oh, that was so good.
That was a nice draw.
That was so good.
That was a really nice draw.
Okay, so that was, I mean, that was perfect. So you look at your path,
Yep.
2.2 degrees into out, face a degree closed.
Yes.
So you swung 2 degrees right, face a degree closed. I mean, there's your perfect.
That's the draw.
That's your perfect shot. That was good. Speed jumped up again.
Yeah, that was more of a full swing.
Really good.
Good.
And like I said at the start, you weren't far away.
No.
It wasn't like, okay, sometimes you look at a golf swing, you're like, okay, we'll do this and this today,
Yeah.
but that won't get you to where you want to be.
No.
Then once you've done that, we'll do this and this. But you weren't far off.
No,
you were
that-
just
that-
tipping the club out early.
Yeah. That felt really good.
If you change that, you'd be fine.
Yeah, really good.